Hey everyone, welcome back to channel. In this video, we are going to build a complete REST API using Python Flask with PostgreSQL DB and JWT Authentication and on interacting the Swagger UI for testing APIs. You will able to register a user, login in, get a JWT token and then use that token to perform the CRUD operation. All direction from the Swagger page without using Postman. Let's get started. Okay, this is our project structure. So you need to creating one app.py. This is the main program file and you need to config the database. So you can use this config.py file and we need to creating two routes. One is authentication route, another is the product route. So we are authentication using the products. So now I'm going to see the database also. So PostgreSQL, I am using DB. So here schema, you can see this product table. So I'm using select query to run. So here at least one product I already added for this table. Now we'll see the program for how we'll do in code operation. Okay. So first is the app.py. This is a main file. So before we go to this file, we can check with this two route module app and product.routes. So for the first is route py. So here we are importing blueprint and request and JSON Flask. These are import module. So this blueprint is organizing for our route into our module. Like if you using all the route, we need to register into the one organizing object. So that's the reason we are using this blueprint object and JSON. So this JSONify, so it's request to collect the JSON body and send the client. So all the request body payloads we are sending the JSON. So that's the reason we are using this module also. And we are using this JWT token secret and get DP connection. It's we are already configured this config.py. So here we are importing PostgreSQL DP connection. So we need to import this line and also we need to importing this real disconnect the cursor, like the cursor we need to maintaining. So that's the reason we are importing this to PostgreSQL package we are importing. Then we need to set the configuration in DP. So we need to given the database name is Postgres and username, password and host and port. So these are detail you need to given. So then you can able to connect our DP into PostgreSQL. So I am creating one method. So this get DP connection. So here connection I am using this cursor factory. So we can able to configure every database connection with simple way to configure in our connection to DB. So and also I'm creating one variable like JWT secret. This variable I need to given secret keyword for this JWT token. So whatever name you need to give it for using the very secure connection. So this way we configure. So this model we are importing and also we are importing generate password hash and check the password hash. These two mainly we are using to hashing the password for while using this authentication program. And also we are using the Flash Swagger. So this model you can using the Swagger model for the UI purpose. That's the reason I'm importing. And also authentication we are using JWT. I'm importing JWT and date format also. These are the method I am importing for this auth model. This common for all the module mostly. If any model we can newly imported, I can explain. So first I am creating one object like auth.bb. This is blueprint. So this object I am initializing like this auth and I need to given the path of this variable. So this is the previous prefix path. So if it is run the localhost /api.auth, then you can able to access your URL. So next I am creating few methods. One is the register method, another is the login method. So first I will go to the register method. So here I am getting like the request will come, right? So the request will come. So I need to collect the JSON, whatever the detail user will be given from the request of the payload. So here the data will comes from the request. The data is coming, the username password is not there, then the missing for the username and password. Then we are returning the different like this is the error response. So we are returning and we are converting this dictionary into JSON format. So using this method, and we are returning the 400, that means bad request. So the user and the password, they are not given while registration time, we cannot able to register the user, right? So that's the reason we are given this error. And next is the connection. So this connection we are getting from the DB, so we already configured this connection one time, so we are initializing this connection and we are creating the cursor variable. Then we are executing select star from user where username. So already the user is existing in the DB, then we don't need to create the candidate user, right? So that's the basic concept. So we are checking for the user is available in the DB or not. If not, then we can able to create. If it is having the user in same name, then we are changing like one request, like the user is already existing in DB. There's also bad request, so we are sending like a 4000 response. Then we are generating like a user having the password. So this data variable only we collecting all the user input. So here having the password, if the user is a new user, then the user given the password, then I'm generating the hash mapping, like I'm secure like encoding this password and store it like this hash password variable. Then I'm creating the one SQL statement like insert into user username password and values. So those two values, username and password, this password is encrypted. So this way we are storing into our DB. So once it's done, and connection.commit and cursor we need to close, and also connection we need to close, and we are returning like the user registered successfully and 2001. This code represent to HTTP, this all HTTP code only. This 2001 will be represent to creating operations. So that's the reason we are using this one. And we are checking this login table also in this user. Select. So here the username, password, and this ID column, these things I'm already created, so you can also creating this one. And this password will be encrypted format we are storing in the database. So that's all we are doing for this registered API. And now we'll see the login API. Okay, so on login API also we are similarly the response used the payload is the JSON format. So we are collecting the request dot get JSON, whatever the record we are getting, we are collecting. And next we are checking for the username and password is available or not. If not, then this is missing for the username and password in the parameter of whatever user requesting this API. So we need to given this two parameter, otherwise we are sending like the bad request response. Once user having the username and password, then we are enable the connection and we are creating the cursor variable and checking the username is available in this DB or not. If not available, then we are just closing the connection, and this user is not available in our DB, so we are returning like the invalid like we are closing, and we are checking like invalid credential for this user. And if the user is available, then we are checking like the password also. So based on the data, we are encrypted like this DB just checking for the password and re-encrypting for this password. Then we are checking like this password is matching in our system or not. Then if it is not, then we are sending like this is not a correct password, so we are sending like the 401 unauthorized token for this user. Okay, so if the user is available, then we are like this password also unused for your database, like the user object, because it's having collecting for the password from this database, and also it's matching for this data password to our encrypted password also. This two will happen, everything is successful, then we are creating like the JWT token. So based on that, we are sending like user ID and token expiration time, like this token will expire in 2 hours, and also we are creating JWT secret from this config file. So here we are storing like JWT secret. So based on that, we are encrypting for this token, so then we are return sending for the token from this user. So this successful response, we are sending like the 200 HTTP code. Okay, these are for normal API, like if using the login and registration, that's enough. But we are implementing the Swagger also, so we need to give in some Swagger detail also. And also this blueprint variable we are creating, right? So this also we need to connect with each function. So first you will see like this blueprint we are mapping for this method. So registration method, this decorator we are using, this name is called like decorator. So I'm creating the auth blueprint variable this object I need to dot for route, so I need to give any name for this method. So whatever name I am given, that will be here for it. So here I'm using register, right? So then how will work means this localhost /API/auth dot register, then we can accessible for this register method. So I need to specify the method of this registration. It is post method, so I'm getting for register for this method, like post only we are using for this route. In similar way in the login also, so similar way I'm object and route, and I'm given one name like login. So whatever name I'm given, but it's meaningful, that's the reason I'm given like login. Then method is post also. Then I'm going to see like swagger, right? So swagger also decorator, I need to give a few information for user from the UI. So this is a registration, so I'm creating one tag like this authentication group. So this like this is the name. So this authentication I'm giving like tag name and summary of this what will be doing. So it will be showing here login for which new user, and also parameter I need to give a name and body, so it will be record. So in property also I given like the username password. So these are basic few details I need to given from the interacting with user will know what is the purpose we are creating for this API. So this basic detail I'm giving like this parameter, and once the response everything is successful, then you will be returning the response like this 2001 description, and user will be created. So this way the API also acts. So similar way you need to creating this swagger decorator form, so then you can able to interacting with the UI. So in similar way here also you can see the auth, and it's for login purpose, summary for this token, and also parameters similar way I'm given, and response like 2000, it's a written for the JWT token. Okay, so these are basic detail, then user can understand from the UI what will be doing for these two APIs. Now we are going to see the product APIs. Okay, so product API, we have few operation we are doing. So here like get, post, delete, and get ID and put. So these are operation we are doing from the product. So here first we need to see the get all product. Okay, first we'll see the method, then go with the decorators. So here get all method I need to creating the connection, and we need to create the cursor variable and select all the product from the DB. So select order by ID, so it's order ascending order, and fetch all record, and based on the product I need to return into JSON and 2000. It's automatically sending to response like 2000 codes, and whatever the product we are collecting, all product will be sending to our result. So this way we are getting all product. So now we'll check like the how like ID. If I pass, I know the ID for the product, then how will you take this product from the DB. So similar way I need to connection for this DB and creating the cursor variable, and also I'm on select query like select star from where ID, whatever ID user will be given the input, I need to pass it here. Then I can able to fetch the one record, because ID is always the unique. So I need to get the one record, and after I need to create the cursor and connection variable. So if the product is not found, then it's a not found, it's a not found exception we are throwing, like the HTTP request exception will throwing. But if the product is available, then we can return that product with the 2000 the success response we are sending. This way we are getting it from the product. So next is a create method. So create method, I'm creating like I'm getting the data from this line user, whatever the response payload they given, I'm collecting from this data variable and checking the name and price is available for this user given input. If not, then we'll return the bad request response. If the user will send the name and price, then I'm creating the connection and cursor, and I'm inserting for this user information into our DB. Insert into name, description, and price. These are information user must enter. Like description is option, that's the reason I am not checking like these conditions. So user will given like 3 input, then we are passing like returning like this query, and I'm given like this formatting string we are executing for this one. Once the done, I'm getting the product from cursor, and also I'm committing for this like this commit for this statement will be inserted. So and also I'm collecting for this like a JSON, that's the reason I'm using cursor.fetch one. So it's a select query, like this will be written from this 3 data from the JSON format. So that's the reason I'm new product like this cursor fetch one. So because this query also returning whatever the inserting, that will be returning. So that's the reason I'm using this returning from star, like inserting into product and value insert, and after it will be returning whatever the product I'm inserting into DB. Then the new product collecting from the variable, and also I'm like committing for this SQL query will be run, then cursor will close, DB will close. Once closed that, and I'm getting JSON for this new product and returning for 2000. That's creating for request. This way I'm creating the product in product table. Next I'm updating. So if any product will comes, I need to update, right? So I'm similar way, I need to get the data from users, the user payload. They will request the data, what the data will need to update it, okay? And user given the which are the field, like price and description user can update, so that data user need to given, okay? Then we are creating the connection variable and cursor variable. Then selecting for this ID, like user given the ID from this API. So user wants given the ID, the product is available in our system or not. If not product, then it's a bad request, then we are returning for this statement. If the ID is available, then I'm creating like one update statement, update product and set name and description and price. So these three things user can update based on the ID of the product. Then we are returning for this whatever the updating statement, then we are returning. So once the update variable, I'm fetching from this updater whatever the we are getting the result, that will be having here. Then we are committing for this SQL statement, like the SQL will be executed. Then I'm closing the cursor and connection variable, then returning for whatever the data we are updating, then user can identify easily in the UI. Next one is the delete one, okay? So delete one also user given the ID from the URL itself. So once you have the ID, then I'm checking like this delete start from where the ID is having, then the deleting product from the product table, then returning for the whatever record I'm deleting, it will be automatically returning. Then I'm returning for message like this product has been deleted. So if needed, you can also pass this delete statement also if needed. If not necessary, you're not deleting. I'm checking like the product having successfully deleted, that's the reason I'm creating this variable to checking if the delete is happened, then your product will be deleted. If not happening, like this variable have fall, it's not happening, then like this product still available in a DB, then we need to the product is not found, right? So if something ID we are passing, then it will be getting the bad request. So this is the reason I'm using this variable. So I'm checking for this method also. This way I'm deleting the product. So here I'm seeing like all the operations in this variable, like this method get all, get by ID, and create, update and delete. These 5 methods we are using for this product code operation. And similar way we are creating the blueprint object, right? So previously a route we are creating, and similar way we are creating the blueprint like the product variable. So each route you are creating, you need to creating one variable, and you need to register your blueprint for this data. And here all the API will routed into API/and product. This route, this path only, all the product related information you have it, okay? So this way I'm using for this method for registration for the blueprint. So every method I'm using this decorator, this whatever variable we're creating, that's a decoration, and I'm using the route. So if the route will be generated like api.product, it's a main of the root of the route, then we will be getting all the product. But if the route having like this the variable identity pass, like this route passing any ID like product slash, they are using any given IDs, then it's for getting for the particular ID only. Then the ID will be having slash like this method, like the post method, like this get method, same route, and same route like the post method. It way you can write multiple methods for the same path also. It will be different, like different operations. So same way I am using get method for get all the data, and post method I am creating for the product. And similar way the put method, like this path will be same, but the action of method will be different each one. So everything it's passing the ID, but the ID is different methods, so different action will do, okay? Next one is the token record, right? This token record decorator I am passing for all the method. Why means, with while authentication we are creating this JWT token, right? But the token we need to all the product API you need to call the token. If you available, then only you can able to get the details, otherwise you cannot able to get any details. So now we'll see the token generation, okay? So this decorator method I am using like the token generating method. Like this whatever the user requesting for this method for, we have authentication tab from all the UPI your API URL. We have the authentication in this header. So I am getting whatever the request will come, I need to go to the header and I need to get the authentication method. So whatever the authentication method the user will be having, a user will choose like the bearer authentication. For this entire logic they need to choose, and the bearer, like this token will be starting bearer or not. The bearer token is not, they are not sending, then I am checking like this authentication header is missing, like the user is invalid, so unauthorized token we are sending. Suppose yeah, user will send the correct bearer token, bearer like, and the generator token which they are sending, I am getting the token from the header portions. Once user will be generating for this token, after we need to decode the token based on our secret key. So user token and secret key, based on that we are checking like this is a valid token or not. So if the valid token, then it will be allowed to use it for all the operation will do. Otherwise if it is the token is expiry, and this all everything we can build to check like this JWT token. So user will be expiring the token and invalid token, all the operation we are checking from this token method only. So that's the reason I'm using this token method for all the APIs. So user can able to check for this token for all the method. Okay, so similar way I am using the Swagger form also. This Swagger form I am checking like each of the method, so then only user identify the UI faces, so whatever the request will becomes. Okay, I am using first method, like user need to pass the authentication and its header, and it's what's the format will record the bearer and token, and it's a record format of the string. So then we can able to do this operation from this all the product we are getting list out, right? So this form I need to generating. In similar way I need to check I need to do this other operation also, right? So here also I need to check like the product I mean I need to pass the product ID. So single product I need to get by the product by the ID, so I need to pass that, and parameter authentication is reader and description. Like this way we need to pass the bearer token in this UI, and also this all string format, and also we need to get the ID from the URL itself. This operation it's common for this method and also this method. So this method will same like the whatever the here, but here the put method I need to pass the body in the updated request, right? That also I need to given like this one more dictionary I need to pass it here. Okay, and create method, and similar way we need to create the authentication body, and also this method we need to pass in the parameter. Then user, this detail we given by the user only, then user can easily identify what's example how to interact with this Swagger API in the UI page. Okay, now this product API we are registering. So next go with the main function. Okay, this app.py only it's running for main, so you need to run for this method only. So first we need to creating this Flask variable, then we are initializing this Flask method. So we are going to see the Flask, right? Then I am using this cross method, right? So the cross origin domain, you have any like you are using the local host, but in your main program, like the web will be run the different host, that will be having the cross origin issues will come. So that's the reason I am registering this app like course. Then whatever the cross domain of the API we are using, that will be doesn't having any issues. And also I'm creating like this way, I'm creating first main template, like whatever the UI you see the template, that's a main template. So I'm using like Swagger 2.0 and initializing for the secure for the API. So everything like this details and everything detail will come from this info and description title, and it's run the base path of root URL. Once this template I am creating, then I need to configure this Swagger in our Flask app. So app.config Swagger, that this is default we need to using for this configuration, and we are registering like Swagger and app and template. So these are detail we need to give it. Once we get this detail, then we need to we are creating like two blueprints, right? So this blueprint we need to register in the app only. So app dot register blueprint, whatever this have, like we need to import this route dot our module, we are importing these two modules. So based on these two module, we need to register. Once we are registering, then we are creating one common method. Like if it is the root method, like if it doesn't have anything, so welcome to the secure API, like this API will be running everything. Just checking purpose, I'm using the common route path, and that will be working or not. Then returning app. So these all method I am using the create method, right? So this main method I am using the create method, and app dot run, like this debugging tool, and this run will be port, like whatever port you can using, but the port is already running in your system, you cannot use. So please verify before, or if it is running, it will be throwing the error. So I am using the 5001 port, so in default it's for 5000 port. So whatever the port you needed, you can execute it. So now I will execute this program. So now I will be running for this port, so you can see this detail in here. Okay, so now I'm copy this URL. So now we'll see the UI. So this message, like the message, like welcome to secure port API. So this way, this home, like we have no issues, so we can execute all the APIs. Okay, this message only we returning, right? So in Swagger you need her, so you can use the API docs. Its default URL you need to use. This Swagger page will be automatically loaded in your system. So here you see like the auth and product, like these two URL authentication purpose, these two are product purpose. So now I'm expanding this one. So this parameter and name description, whatever we given in this program, that will be showing here, like this example for this API. Okay, in similar way we will see the registration, how we'll do the registration from this UI. User like having some info. Similar way I can see the product order detail given, and products, and delete, and get, and put. Okay, now we'll see the how will generate, like. Okay, I'm closing all this one. So now first I need to register the user, right? So here we have tryout option, right? So I'm clicking tryout. Here the body you can expect. Okay, so you can edit this one. So username is, I'm using code with JK, and password also I'm using like similar one. Okay, and I need to execute this one. So once executed, I am checking like this user is successfully respond. So if you have anything it will return like different, then you need to, it's not correct way to register. Now the user will be successfully registered. Now I'm checking like the login API. Okay, I'm closing this one. I'm going to login. I'm trying out, and password is same, and username also same. So once this two is having, then I'm going to execute this one. So once executed, you will see this token, right? So this token, it's important to all the other places. So I'm copying this one. So once copy, then I'm going to this using the get product. Okay, so here I need to give an authentication link. I'm given some try and bearer. So before you need to type like this bearer, then you need to pass your token, then executing. Then you will see the product from this our response. Okay, in similar way I can add one more product from this product API. So bearer, then I am passing the token. I am using this Mac laptop, so name is laptop, and I am using this price, and I am executing this one. It will be creating successfully. Okay, then I am checking like the get API again, same way, just execute this one. So you can see the two product in your console, right? So this way you can verify like two product is registered in your API. Okay, now we'll say like check like get product from ID. Okay, now I'm passing like this to authentication bearer. So passing this one, I'm using the ID like the 2. Okay, then I'm checking like now register Mac laptop, this will be coming, right? This way you can identify from the ID from this one. Next I'm checking like the put, like this update API. Okay, I'm checking like tryout and authentication. I need to give an bearer. The same token only I'm using because this token is valid for 2 hours. After only will expire, right? So I'm given like the 2, and it's a Mac, and update like Mac, and price like this price I will update. Okay, I'm executing this statement. So now the price will be updated. Now we are checking, like previously it's 1,300 we are given. Now I'm executing again the same query. So now we are updating, right? So if in the similar way, we can using the delete API also try out. So here we can use the authentication like bearer and paste our IDs to now executor. This product will be deleted successfully. Okay, so now we'll executing the overall API like get collection product, this product is available or not. So now you will see the product will be deleted, right? So this way you can interact the all the API in your in your Swagger page only. No need to go with the Postman. Okay, so this way we can handling the everything about authentication. So and that's all. You will just build a fully JWT secured Flask API with PostgreSQL, complete with Swagger UI for everything in every route visually, no Postman needed. You can extend this by adding the refresh token, no role-based permission, or even deploy under render or AWS. This video will helpful. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and let me know if you have any comments for this, what API you want to next. And thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video one.